The lovely village of Monyash is an absolute gem, with pretty stone cottages lining quiet lanes and a country inn overlooking a village green. It is located at the head of the beautiful Lathkill Dale, surrounded by rolling fields and gentle hills. Monyash has a thriving community spirit, and its economy now based largely on farming. There is a popular cafe, the Old Smithy Tea Rooms. Next door is the one remaining pub, the Bull's Head, and is one of the oldest buildings in the village, renowned for its great food and good beer. Monyash is yet another beautiful Peak District village. Been here many times over the years. Had breakfast here at the Old Smithy, and it was a lovely breakfast and very hearty from what I can remember too. And I've been here to the Bull's Head many times too. Another lovely pub in the village, and came here for one or two of my real ale minibus trips. So yeah, another beautiful village in the Peak District. The Grade 2 listed St Leonard's Church dates from 1100, when it was a small building, probably used by the early Britons to worship pagan gods. But over time, it has been added to and developed, and it is now a large church. I'd love to have a corner church organ. I've said it before. It's really nice having a walk inside a church again. I've been a bit wary since COVID, because I think when COVID first started, I think churches weren't open to people unless in very extreme circumstances. But you know, now that we're sort of getting back to some kind of normality, you know, I think churches are more or less open as they used to be. But there's obviously restrictions in place. But yeah, it's really nice to look round churches again. Yep, I love Monyash like I love most Peak District villages. Beautiful. Okay, time to start my walk now then. I walked along Rakes Road, soon passing the lovely village pond. Where the road curved to the right, I took a lane ahead and continued along a walled track called Milking's Lane. Today is the 24th of November 2021, and I always say the date now, don't I, when I'm filming a walk. Just got into the habit of it really. I think recently I had a comment from somebody on one of my videos, and he did actually say that he was glad that I do actually state the date in my films. And I did reply and say, well, I do now, but I've always put that information in the description below the video. So, but of course, I guess nowadays, because of course you can watch YouTube on your TV, if you watch it that way, you won't see the description below the video. But if you're looking on your computer or laptop, and you're just looking on the internet, and you access YouTube that way, you will see the description. So, I just guess people don't really tend to read the descriptions now. But yeah, I've just got into the habit really of saying that. Oh, and I should probably continue to do so. Just to say that I am conscious that I was a little bit out of breath just now. Well, still am. It's really because when I did that last shot of me talking about stating the date, I think I did that take about half a dozen times. So I started to do it as I was walking, and then I cocked my lines up and I thought, oh, bum! So I had to stop recording. I ran back to where I was before and did it again. So I think I did that about 6 times. So yeah, there you go. The joys of filming. So yeah, if I do seem out of breath, that's probably what it is. Oh dear. Today's walk then, it's not a particularly strenuous one. I've done this lots of times, so I think I would consider this one of my favourite walks. I've got a long list of favourite walks really, but there you go. But this is one I've always enjoyed. It's one, if you just want to do a fairly short walk, it's only just over 4 miles, and it's a nice one to do if you park your car in Monyash, because you can have your breakfast at the old smithy, do the walk, and then finish up at the Bull's Head and have your lunch. I've never done it quite like that though. I do remember once doing this walk with my partner a long time ago, and she and I did this walk, and we did have lunch in the Bull's Head afterwards, but I remember it was a very cold day. It was colder than it is today. Oh, a little stone stile here to negotiate. But yeah, we sort of ended up in the Bull's Head, and I seem to remember we had a nice hot bowl of soup, and there was a roaring fireplace as well at one end of the bar at the time. I think that's gone now, but yeah, we did this walk, we had a nice hot bowl of soup, and we were sat by that roaring fireplace, and I remember thinking then, this is my ideal kind of day really. Lovely. So yeah. I almost didn't touch the sides of that one.
The Walls path ended just before Ferndale, and having gone through the gap stile, the path took me across open fields. As I was following this route, I was reunited with the Limestone Way once again. The track descended to Monyash Grange Farm, which, as the name suggests, was once a monastic grange.
Wow, there's a peacock there. Gorgeous. There was another one just now, but he walked off somewhere. Wow, what a bonus to see that. Absolutely gorgeous.
Continuing along the Limestone Way towards Lathkill Dale, I passed a line of restored pigsties, and beyond here I found a shrine, believed to have been used by the monks as a cold store. I bore right to pass between a large corrugated shed and old stone barns, carefully going over the stile, as there was a deep drop into the field beyond. Going forward along a shallow depression, I passed through a gate to descend a steep rocky path into the head of Dale.
I'm in Dale now. Here's some people about. There's some people actually coming down that steep flight of stone steps that I climbed last time on the last walk I did. So I'm almost at the point where I left the last walk.
I dropped through the gorge, soon to be reunited with Lathkill Dale.
So this is where I left the walk last time. Here's the footbridge I crossed, and that's where I came up Lathkill Dale. So today I'm going to be walking the rest of it up in that direction.
Crossing back over Sheepwash Bridge, I turned left the other side to continue my walk through Lathkill Dale from where I had left it last time.
Here we go then. Let's do the rest of Lathkill Dale. Not too many people walking around here today. Can hear the birds more. Lovely. Well, if you've been watching some of my recent films where I've talked about how long it takes to do an average day's filming, and that is on average 6 hours a day, when I did my last walk up through Lower Lathkill Dale, by the time I'd finished that day, it was 8 hours. That's a record nearly. Well, that's the longest day I've had for quite some time. The walk was about 7.5 miles, but I mean I've done walks that length before which I've filmed and it's not taken me that long. I just think I took so many shots. By the end of the day, I think the amount of shots I'd taken was 316. I always try and get a minimum of 200, but I went way over it last time. So of course when I get to edit that film, which of course you'll have seen by the time you're watching this, there are a lot of shots that I won't use. So yeah, it was a very long day. I was very tired that day. I mean, no complaints, but I think the problem is now that the days are getting shorter with the evenings getting darker earlier, I'm conscious that I've got to sort of put the pace on a bit more so that I don't lose any light, because I know by the time I got back to Yulegrave it was practically dark, so I just made it. But it was a lovely walk to film. But yeah, that was a tough day for whatever reason, just because of the amount of shots I took and how long it took me.
Passing the point where Lathkill Dale is joined by Ricklow Dale, I reached the entrance to Lathkill Head Cave. Lathkill Head Cave is where the River Lathkill makes its first appearance, although in summer months and dry spells there is often nothing flowing from this huge mouth in the side of the dale, as was the case today.
I think that cave is high enough for me not to bump my head on. So when you're out and about and you just happen to come across me when you're on your travels, do stop and say hello. I love to talk to people, but I will just say that if you do see me, whether you know me from the films or whether you just ask what I'm doing when you see me with the camera and tripod, if I ever seem abrupt or on edge, I do apologise. I don't mean to come across like that. It's just that, and just bearing in mind what I said just now about my last one taking me 8 hours to film, I'm just conscious that I've got a lot of work to do. You know, I know I've got a lot of filming to do. I know that I've got a long day ahead of me, and it's just that I just want to get on with what I'm doing. I remember earlier this year when I was filming one of my walks, I won't say which one it was, but I got talking to this guy because he saw me with my camera and tripod, and he just asked what I was doing, and we just got chatting, which was lovely. But then by the time we both moved on and went our separate ways, I realised that that was an hour gone. I thought, oh, flipping heck. And that particular walk, I wasn't even a quarter of the way through the walk, and I thought, I've got loads to do. So yeah, it's just that I know that I've got a lot to do, and I know that I just want to get on and do it. But I'm always happy to say hello to people. You know, please don't be afraid to come and say hello to me, and, you know, whether you know me from my films or not. I'm always happy to talk to people. I am really a friendly person, honestly. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? Can anybody be surprised to hear that Lathkill Dale is one of my favourite dales? It's just absolutely lovely. And the beauty of it today is because I've come here during the week, knowing that kids are at school, it's a lot quieter, because again at weekends it gets busy. But any time, it's always beautiful. Yep, Lathkill Dale, along with Dovedale, are my two favourite dales in the Peak District.
Lathkill Dale became narrower and rockier underfoot as I progressed, but its beauty never diminished for one moment. Beyond the debris of a disused quarry, the gorge opens to the head of the dale, where I carried on along a slight grassy fold through a couple of fields.
Well, I'm just approaching the road now. That's ahead of me. So that means I'm at the end of Lathkill Dale. What a beautiful dale. So I'm glad to have walked the whole thing again. The two people in front of me that are just about vanishing in the distance, that's Adrian and Shirley. And they walked past me just now as I was looking at that sign, and they said, "We've watched you and your videos," they said. Lovely. So, lovely to meet you both, Adrian and Shirley. They come from down south, they're just about to retire, and they're looking to move to the area. And they've been coming to the Peak District for a very long time, they said. I can't remember how long it was, they said, but well over 30 years. So, yeah, I hope they manage to get a house up here in the not too distant future. So, lovely to meet you both, Adrian and Shirley.
Passing a dew pond to the left, the path finally emerged onto a lane.
I'm back on the outskirts of Monyash now, but rather than following the main road into the village, I'm going to walk up through Bagshaw Dale.
It was a very short walk now, as Bagshaw Dale is only about half a mile long. The path through the dale emerged onto Horse Lane near a road junction, where I turned left to follow Chapel Street back into Monyash.
So that brings me to the end of another beautiful walk, now that I'm back in lovely Monyash. Very tempting to go into the Bull's Head for a drink, but I'm not going to. I'll do it another time, very soon.